The stars look different here. High Commander Vrex stared at the view screen of his ship, watching a yellow sun burn in the distance. His forearms rested on the command chair, bronze scales catching the light from the displays around him. This system was marked on the old charts as Kepler 442, a place that once held life. Ancient life. Dead life. "Commander, we are detecting structures on the fourth planet," said Kayla, his science officer. Her purple-tinged scales marked her as lower caste, but she was smart. Smarter than most of his crew. They matched the architectural patterns we have seen in the old records. Rex felt his chest swell with pride. The lost ones, the humans. His ancestors had driven them from their homeworld 500,000 years ago. The story said they were weak, primitive creatures who fled into the dark of space in broken ships. No one had seen them since. Most believed they were extinct, scattered bones on dead worlds throughout the galaxy. "Take us closer," Vrex ordered. "I want to see these ruins with my own eyes." The Velkari ship moved through the system, its engines leaving a trail of radiation that human sensors detected from light years away. In a hidden station, floating in the dark between stars, Admiral Jinho watched the alien vessel approach the old colony. His face was lined with age, gray hair pulled back from a face that rarely smiled. "They found it," said Captain Mirai, standing beside him. She was young, barely 30, with sharp eyes that missed nothing. "Should we move the fleet into position?" "Not yet," Jinho said quietly. His hands gripped the railing in front of him. "We have hidden for 500,000 years. We can wait a little longer." Commander Taman, head of intelligence, stepped forward. His face bore scars from old battles, wounds that could have been healed, but he kept his reminders. "Admiral, if they establish a base here, they will start looking at the other systems. They will find the trails. They will find us." "I know," Jinho said. "Dr. Hyan, what do our intercepts tell us about their technology?" The older man, a historian and scientist, pulled up a screen. "Their sensors are crude. Their ships use fusion drives that we abandoned 200,000 years ago. Their weapons are powerful but inefficient. They have not changed much since they destroyed Earth." Mirai made a sound of disgust. "They are still using fusion? We have quantum drives. We can cross the galaxy in days. They need months." "That is why we survived," Hyun said softly. "While they conquered, we learned. While they celebrated their strength, we became stronger." On the planet below, Kayla walked through the ruins. The buildings were old, worn by time and weather. But the design was beautiful, mathematical, perfect. She ran her scanner over a wall and frowned at the readings. "Commander Vrex," she called over the radio. "These structures show understanding of quantum mechanics. The metal alloys are sophisticated. This civilization was not primitive." "They were primitive enough to lose," Vrex replied from the ship. "Keep searching. I want artifacts we can take back to the Empire. This discovery will make us famous." Kayla moved deeper into the ruins. In what looked like a library or data center, she found something incredible, a data core ancient but still intact. She touched it carefully, and to her shock, it activated. Blue light filled the room as holographic displays burst to life around her. Star maps. Thousands of them. Systems connected by lines showing trade routes, colony paths, supply chains. Kayla's breath caught in her throat. The humans had not just colonized this one world. They had spread to hundreds of systems. "Maybe thousands, Commander," she said, her voice shaking. "You need to see this." Back on the hidden station, alarms began to sound. "The Velkari are accessing our old data systems," Taman reported. "They are seeing the colony maps." Jinho felt his stomach tighten. How much can they see? Everything from the first expansion period. 2,000 colony worlds from the early diaspora. Taman looked at his commander. "They will think we spread far before we died out." "Good," Hyan said. "Let them think we are extinct. Let them think these are just graves." Mirai was not satisfied. "And when they start exploring those 2,000 systems? When they find our people living there?" "Our people know how to hide," Jinho said. "We have practiced for 500,000 years." On the planet, Vrex looked at the holographic maps with satisfaction. "The lost ones spread farther than we thought. This is a magnificent discovery." He turned to his navigation officer, Threx. "Mark these systems for future survey missions. The Empire will want to explore them all." Threx studied the display with careful eyes. Something bothered him. "Commander, these supply routes are very efficient. The colony spacing is mathematically optimal. This suggests advanced planning and logistics." "They had time to plan before we destroyed them," Vrex said dismissively. Intelligence means nothing without strength to defend it. But Threx was not convinced. He had served in many campaigns, explored many dead civilizations. Something felt wrong about this place. It was too orderly, too preserved. Most ruins showed signs of catastrophe or slow decay. This place looked like everyone had simply left, taking everything important with them. As the Velkari continued their exploration, a small probe drifted into the outer system. It was searching for valuable minerals in the asteroid field. Its sensors swept across the dark rocks and found something strange. Debris, fresh debris, metal fragments that the computer could not identify. The probe sent its data back to the main ship. Kayla received it and ran analysis. The metal alloys were unknown. The deterioration patterns suggested the debris was no more than 50 years old. Her hands trembled as she checked the results again. "This is impossible," she whispered. "This technology should not exist." She looked up at the stars visible through the window of the landing craft. Someone was out there, someone with technology more advanced than anything the Velkari possessed, someone who was watching them right now. On the hidden station, Jinho made his decision. "Begin moving our assets into defensive positions, maintain full stealth, and send word to the Council. The Velkari have found us. Now we must decide what to do about it." Around the system, invisible to Velkari sensors, 50 human warships began to move. Each one was larger than the entire Velkari fleet combined. Each one carried weapons that could shatter planets. And each one had been waiting in the dark for exactly this moment. The humans had spent 500,000 years preparing for the day they would be found. They had hidden, learned, grown, and built. They had transformed themselves from refugees fleeing in broken ships to the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. And the Velkari, so proud of their conquest centuries ago, had no idea what they had awakened. Kayla could not sleep. She lay in her quarters aboard the Velkari ship, staring at the ceiling. The strange metal debris kept appearing in her mind. Every test she ran gave the same impossible answer. The material was new, very new, and it came from a ship design that made Velkari engineering look like children's toys. She sat up and pulled her datapad closer. The star maps from the ancient colony still glowed on the screen. 2,000 systems, 2,000 worlds that humans had reached before they supposedly died out. But what if they had not died out? What if they had just hidden? The thought terrified her. In the command center, Vrex was ordering a full system scan. "I want every rock, every asteroid, every particle of dust mapped," he told Threx. "If there is anything valuable here, I want to know about it." "Commander," Threx said carefully, "should we not report the debris findings to command? Request additional ships for security?" Vrex waved a dismissive hand. "We found old junk in an asteroid field. There is nothing here that threatens us. Focus on the survey." But Threx was not reassured. He had learned to trust his instincts over his long career. Those instincts were screaming at him now. Something was very wrong with this system. 3 light months away in the human observation station, Captain Mirai coordinated the biggest deception operation in history. Dozens of human ships worked together, each one invisible to Velkari sensors. They fed carefully crafted false data into the alien scanning systems. "The Velkari probe is approaching Grid 7, reported a technician. "Initiating Ghost Protocol." "Confirmed," Mirai said. "Make it look like old automated defenses. Nothing too advanced. We want them to think they found ancient security systems, not modern ships." Dr. Hyon watched from a nearby console. "This is risky. If they see through the deception, they will know someone is manipulating their sensors." "The alternative is worse," Admiral Jinho said, entering the command center. "If they detect our real ships, they learn how advanced we are. That starts a war." The operation proceeded with precision. When Velkari scanners swept across areas where human ships waited, the computers showed only empty space or ancient debris. When drones investigated suspicious regions, they found exactly what they expected to find: corroded machines, dead systems, ghosts of a civilization that died long ago. Vrex reviewed the latest reports with satisfaction. "See, nothing but old junk. The humans built automated defenses before they fled, but time has destroyed them. We are alone here." Kayla wanted to believe him. She wanted the simple explanation. But her scientist mind would not let her rest. She pulled up probability calculations and ran them through the computer. The scanning anomalies were too perfectly distributed. The blind spots in their sensor coverage followed mathematical patterns. Nature does not work this way, she muttered to herself. She dug deeper into the data. The asteroid field had been carefully adjusted over time. Rocks had been moved, creating gravitational shadows where sensors could not reach. It was subtle, brilliant, and it required technology far beyond what the ancient humans supposedly possessed. Kayla brought her findings to Threx first. She trusted him more than Vrex. The navigation officer studied her data with growing concern. This is not natural, he agreed. Someone has been engineering this system. Recently. We must tell the commander, Kayla said. They approached Vrex together, presenting their evidence. The commander listened with growing impatience. You are seeing patterns where none exist, he said finally. Asteroid fields move naturally. Sensor blind spots are common. You are letting fear cloud your judgment. Commander, please, Threx insisted. Look at the mathematics. This is deliberate. Vrex stood, all forearms spreading wide in a gesture of dominance. Enough, we are the Velkari Empire. We have conquered 100 worlds. We will not jump at shadows. The humans are dead. Their civilization is dust. Accept it and return to your duties. Kayla and Threx left the command center, both feeling a cold weight in their stomachs. Pride was blinding Vrex to the truth, and that pride might kill them all. Days passed. The Velkari continued their surveys. The human deception continued to work. But then came the mistake that no one expected. A young Velkari technician working a night shift and half asleep adjusted his scanning equipment to a frequency outside normal parameters. He was trying to find mineral deposits in the deeper asteroid belt. For exactly 3.7 seconds, the scanning frequency hit a range that human stealth systems had not anticipated. On his screen, something massive appeared. A structure. No, a ship, enormous beyond belief, 5 times larger than the entire Velkari fleet. And then as quickly as it had appeared, it vanished. The technician stared at his screen, heart pounding. He checked the readings, ran diagnostics. Everything said his equipment had malfunctioned. But the data was there, recorded in the system logs. He should have reported it. That was protocol. But the technician was low caste, and he had already been disciplined twice for equipment problems. If he reported a massive ship that no one else had seen, that disappeared almost instantly, he would be punished. Maybe demoted, maybe worse, so he deleted the log entry, told himself it was a glitch, tried to forget what he had seen. But the ship's computer kept backup files, and sooner or later someone would find them. On the human station, alarms had blared when their stealth field was briefly penetrated. Teeman had rushed to Jinho's office, his face pale. They saw the Titan, he said. For less than 4 seconds, but they saw it. Jinho felt ice in his veins. The Titan was their largest battle carrier. If the Velkari realized what they had glimpsed, the secret was over. Did they record it? He asked. Yes, but the operator deleted the file. He seems to think it was an equipment error. Taman pulled up the intercepted data. He did not report it to his superiors. But the backup systems will have copies, Hyun said, joining them. When they run their routine maintenance checks, someone will find it. Mireille entered the office, her face grim. Admiral, we have another problem. The Velkari homeworld has dispatched an archaeological expedition, not military. Scientists and researchers with civilian escorts. They want to study the extinct human civilization, turn this system into a permanent research station. Jinho sat down heavily. The situation was spiraling out of control. If the Velkari established a permanent base here, humans could never reclaim this world. Worse, the scientists would eventually follow the ancient colony trails to other systems. Each investigation would bring them closer to discovering living human populations. How long until the expedition arrives? He asked. 6 weeks, Mireille said. Then we have 6 weeks to decide, Jinho said. Do we remain hidden and lose this world forever? Do we destroy them and start a war? Or do we reveal ourselves and hope for peace? The 4 officers stood in silence. 500,000 years of hiding had brought humanity to this moment. Every choice led to danger. Every path had risks, but they could not hide forever. I need to consult the council, Jinho said finally. This decision affects all of humanity. We must choose together. He activated the quantum communication system, sending signals across hundreds of light years instantly. Soon leaders from every major human colony would convene. The hidden children of Earth would debate their future. And in the Velkari ship, Kayla lay awake again, unable to shake the feeling that something watched them from the dark. Something old and patient, something that waited for exactly the right moment to reveal itself. She did not know how right she was. The council meeting took place across quantum communication channels, connecting leaders from 70 major human colonies. Admiral Jinho watched as holographic figures appeared around the conference table. Some looked almost identical to him, descendants of Earth's Asian populations. Others showed the changes that 500,000 years of evolution had brought. Different gravity, different sunlight, different worlds had shaped them all, but they were all human, and they all remembered Earth. "We cannot let them establish a base," said Chairman Diho from the Proxima colonies. "If they settle in our old worlds, they will trace our expansion paths. They will find us. Then we destroy them," suggested Commander Yunji from the Frontier Fleet. "We have the weapons. One strike and they are gone. Make it look like an accident. Ancient defense systems activating. They will never know we were involved." Dr. Hyon spoke up from beside Jinho. "If we start killing, where does it stop? The Velkari Empire is vast. They will send investigators. More ships. Eventually they will find evidence. And then we have war. We can win a war," Yunji said confidently. "Our technology is superior. Our ships are faster, stronger, better armed. The Velkari Empire would fall in months. At what cost?" asked Elder Bowman, one of the oldest humans alive at nearly 200 years. "We spent 500,000 years hiding because our ancestors learned that violence only breeds more violence. We survive by being smart, not strong. Have we learned nothing?" Captain Mirai listened to the debate with growing frustration. "We cannot hide forever," she said. "Every year the Velkari expand their territory. Every decade they come closer to our colonies. Eventually they will find us no matter how careful we are. Perhaps this is our chance to control the revelation, to show ourselves from a position of strength. And if they attack?" Daiho asked. "If they see us as a threat?" "Then we defend ourselves," Mirai said. "But we give them the choice. Peace or war. We do not make that choice for them." Commander Taman shook his head. "You are too optimistic. The Velkari destroyed Earth. They killed billions of our ancestors. They will not suddenly become peaceful because we ask nicely. The Velkari who destroyed Earth have been dead for nearly 500,000 years." Hyon said quietly. "Their descendants know us only from legends. We are the lost ones, the extinct primitives. They might fear us, but they do not hate us." "Not yet." The debate continued for hours. Some colonies advocated for continued hiding. Others wanted immediate military action. A few suggested elaborate deceptions to lead the Velkari away from human space. One radical group even proposed revealing humanity completely, confident that their technological superiority would force the Velkari to accept them as equals. Finally, the vote came. It was split almost perfectly down the middle. Unable to reach consensus, the council gave Jinho full authority to make the decision. Whatever he chose, humanity would support. The weight of that responsibility crushed down on him. After the meeting ended, Hyon took Jinho to see something he had prepared. They traveled in a small shuttle to the surface of the old colony world, landing near a memorial site that the Velkari had not yet discovered. The memorial was simple. A wall of stone with names carved into it. Millions of names. All the people who had lived on this world before the Velkari threat forced them to flee. They recorded their thoughts here, Yun said, activating a holographic display. "The original colonists before they evacuated. I want you to hear what they said." Images appeared. Families saying goodbye to the homes they had built, children asking why they had to leave, and the adults explaining with tears in their eyes that sometimes survival meant running, not fighting. One message struck Jinho particularly hard. An old woman speaking directly to the camera. "To whoever finds this, whether human or alien, know this. We are not running because we are weak. We are running because we are smart. The Velkari have greater numbers and stronger weapons. Fighting them would be brave and pointless. But surviving, building, growing stronger in the darkness? That takes true courage. We will return someday. And when we do, we will be ready. Not for revenge, for peace. Because war made us refugees and we never want anyone else to suffer what we suffered." Jinho felt tears on his face. They wanted peace, even after everything the Velkari did to them. "Our ancestors understood something important," Hyun said. "Strength without wisdom is just violence. We became strong not to wage war but to ensure we would never be helpless again. The question is, what kind of civilization have we become after all this time? Jinho stood there for a long time reading the names on the wall. Millions of people who had lost their homes. Their world, but who had survived and thrived. He thought about the massive fleets humanity now commanded, the weapons they had built, the power they possessed, and he made his choice. Back on the station, he gathered his senior officers. "We will reveal ourselves," he said. "But carefully. We will decloak one ship, the Horizon's Edge. Captain Mirai will make first contact. We will demonstrate our capabilities without being threatening. Give the Velkari a choice. If they attack, we defend. If they talk, we negotiate." Mirai looked uncertain. "Admiral, if this goes wrong, we cannot hide again. Once we reveal ourselves, there is no going back." "I know," Jinho said. "But our ancestors did not spend 500,000 years preparing, just so we could hide forever. They wanted us to be ready. For this moment. For this choice, and I believe we are ready." Taman objected strongly. "This is too dangerous. We should wait. Observe them longer. Learn more." "We have been observing them for thousands of years," Hyun countered. "We know their language, their culture, their technology. We know everything except how they will react to us, and the only way to learn that is to show ourselves." While the humans debated, Kayla made a discovery that would change everything. She had been studying the holographic star maps from the ancient data core, unable to let go of her curiosity. Something about the maps bothered her. Then she realized what it was. The maps did not show random colony placement. They showed supply routes, logistics networks, and when she calculated the resources needed to support 2,000 colonies, the numbers made no sense, unless the 2,000 colonies were just the beginning. Unless they had continued expanding. She ran projections starting with the known human population before the fall of Earth. She added conservative growth rates, factored in the resources the colonies would need, calculated expansion patterns based on the efficient logistics she saw in the maps. The results terrified her. If humans had survived and continued growing for 500,000 years, even at slow rates, they should number in the trillions. They should control thousands of systems, possibly tens of thousands. She brought her findings to Vrex, but he dismissed them. "The humans are extinct. We would have found them by now." "Would we?" Kayla asked quietly. "The Velkari Empire has encountered dozens of species. Many of them seemed primitive. But what if they were not? What if they were hiding their true nature?" Vrex stared at her. "That is impossible, is it?" She pulled up records of all the species the Velkari had catalogued as pre-industrial or early industrial. Cross-referenced them with the human expansion maps. These 37 species occupy worlds along human supply routes. Their biology is suspiciously well suited to their environments. Their technological development patterns are similar. What if they are all human colonies? What if they have been pretending to be primitive? The silence in the command center was deafening. Threx checked her calculations and his face went pale. She is right. The probabilities are too high. These could all be human worlds. Threx felt the universe tilt beneath him. If Kayla was right, the Velkari Empire had been exploring the edges of a vast human civilization for centuries. They were not conquerors pushing into empty space. They were insects caught in a web, surrounded on all sides by something that chose not to be seen. Before he could respond, alarms blared. Something was decloaking directly ahead of them. Sensors showed a ship materializing out of empty space. Elegant, crystalline, beautiful, and utterly terrifying. It was human. And it had been there all along, watching them. The Horizon's Edge hung in space before the Velkari fleet like a jewel catching starlight. Its hull was unlike anything the Velkari had ever seen. Crystalline structures flowed into metallic curves. Energy patterns danced across its surface. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. On the Velkari bridge, chaos erupted. Officers shouted over each other. Weapon systems locked onto the human ship. Alarms blared from every console. "Hold your fire," Frex commanded, his voice cutting through the noise. His forearms gripped his command chair hard enough to leave marks. Every instinct screamed at him to attack. But his survival sense whispered something different. If this ship wanted them dead, they would already be dead. Threx stared at his sensors in disbelief. "Commander, the power readings from that ship exceed our entire fleet combined. By a factor of 10. Kayla felt her breath catch. She had been right. The humans were alive, and they had been here all along watching in silence. Then the communication channel activated. A voice spoke in perfect Velkari. the accent ancient but understandable. Velkari vessel, this is Captain Mirai of the human ship Horizon's Edge. We mean you no harm. Please do not be alarmed. Vrex found his voice with difficulty. You are human? The lost ones? We were never lost, Mirai said. We were hiding. Your ancestors forced us to flee Earth 500,000 years ago. We scattered into the darkness and learned to survive. We watched, we waited, and we grew strong. The communication link transmitted data files. Images appeared on Velkari screens. The fall of Earth. Valkyrie warships raining destruction on the human homeworld. Evacuation ships fleeing with whatever they could carry. Refugee camps on harsh worlds. But then the images changed. They showed humanity rebuilding, learning, advancing, spreading across the stars. We remember what your ancestors did, Mirai continued. But we hold no grudge against you. You are not responsible for crimes committed 500,000 years ago. Now we face a choice together. We can be enemies or we can be something better. The decision is yours. One of Rex's officers, a young warrior full of pride, spoke up. We should attack. Show them that the Velkari do not fear anyone.
Silence!
Vrex snapped. He looked at Threx. Your analysis. Can we win a fight? Threx hesitated, then spoke the truth. No, Commander. Their stealth technology alone is beyond our capability. They could have destroyed us at any time. The fact that they are talking means they want peace. Kayla added quietly, Commander, if my calculations are correct, this is not their only ship. There are likely hundreds, possibly thousands, hidden all around us. Vrex felt the weight of reality crushing his pride. The Velkari Empire, so long dominant, was suddenly the weaker species. It was a bitter truth to swallow. What do you want from us? He asked finally. To talk, Mirai said. To share knowledge. To build trust. We ask for a non-aggression pact. Formal diplomatic relations. In exchange, we will share some of our technology. Medical advances. Scientific knowledge. Things that can help your people. Why would you help us? Vrex demanded. After what we did to you? There was a pause. Then Mirai said something that changed everything. Because we need allies, all of us. There is something coming from the galactic core. Something ancient and terrible. We have been preparing to face it for millennia. The Velkari Empire, whether you know it or not, has been serving as an early warning system. Your expansion has drawn attention away from us. Now we need to face this threat together. What threat? Kayla asked, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. Permission to come aboard your ship, Mirai said. This conversation is too important for communication channels. Let us meet face to face. Vrex made the hardest decision of his life. Permission granted. But know this, human. If you betray us, we will fight. We expect nothing less, Mirai replied. An hour later, a small shuttle detached from the Horizon's Edge and approached the Velkari flagship. It docked smoothly and the airlock opened. Captain Mirai stepped through, flanked by 2 human guards and followed by Dr. Hyun. The Velkari crew stared at them. Humans looked so small, so fragile. 2 arms instead of 4, soft skin instead of scales. It was hard to believe these creatures commanded such power. Mirai smiled, though she felt the tension in the air. Thank you for receiving us, High Commander Vrex. Vrex gestured to a conference room. Let us talk. In the conference room, Hyun activated a holographic display. It showed the galaxy, beautiful and vast. Then he zoomed into the core region. 2 million years ago, our long-range sensors detected something. A signal pattern that should not exist. Artificial, massive, and expanding. The display showed a slowly spreading darkness from the galactic center. We call them the machines. We do not know who built them or why, but they convert everything they touch into more of themselves. Worlds, stars, entire civilizations. Nothing stops them. Kayla leaned forward, her fear forgotten in the face of this revelation. Why have we not detected them? Your sensors are not sensitive enough, Hyun said gently. And they move slowly, but they are coming. Our calculations show they will reach this region of space in approximately 50 years. 50 years, Threx repeated. That is not much time. No, Mirai agreed. Which is why we need allies. Humanity has been preparing for this war for a very long time. We have weapons, strategies, plans. But the machines do not care about individual strength. They will consume us all unless we stand together. Vrex processed this information slowly. You have been using us. The Velkari Empire has been drawing attention away from human space while you prepared. Yes, Mirai admitted, and we are sorry for that. But we also protected you. There have been machine probes in this region before. Human ships destroyed them before they reached Velkari space. You never knew because we made sure you did not need to know. She pulled up more data. These are the locations where we engaged machine scouts. 12 times in the last 1,000 years. Each time we stopped them before they could gather information and return to the core. Kayla studied the data with growing respect. You have been defending us without us even knowing. We have been defending everyone, Jan said. Because that is what our ancestors taught us. Survival is not just about being strong. It is about ensuring others survive too. Vrex stood and paced the room with all 4 arms crossed. His pride warred with his duty. Finally, duty 1. What do you propose? An alliance, Mireille said. We share technology. Train together. Build combined defenses. When the machines come, we face them as one. And what guarantees do we have that you will not betray us? Vrex asked. That this is not some elaborate trick? None, Mireille said honestly. Except our actions. We could have destroyed your fleet. We chose to talk. We could have let the machines reach your space first. We chose to protect you. We could have remained hidden forever. We chose to reveal ourselves. Those choices should tell you something about who we are. Threx spoke up. Commander, I believe them. Everything they say matches what we have observed. The hidden ships, the defensive patterns, the protection. If they wanted to harm us, we would already be dead. Keela nodded agreement. The mathematics support their claims, and the threat they describe is real. I have seen the sensor data. There is something in the galactic core that should not exist. Vrex looked at his 2 most trusted officers, then at the humans before him. He thought about his empire, his people, his duty. Pride said to refuse. Survival said to accept. He chose survival. I will recommend to my government that we accept your alliance, he said. But I have one condition. The Velkari Empire must be treated as equal partners. We will not be junior members. We will participate fully in all decisions and planning. Mirai smiled and extended her hand. Agreed. Welcome to the Alliance, High Commander. Vrex looked at the small human hand, then carefully took it with one of his own. The grip was firm despite the size difference. History turned at that moment. 2 species, once enemies, became allies, and just in time, because in deep space, monitoring stations detected something new. The machines had noticed the sudden appearance of thousands of human signatures as ships decloaked across dozens of systems. Their expansion patterns were changing, accelerating. The war was coming sooner than anyone expected. 10 years had passed since first contact. The galaxy had changed in ways no one could have imagined. Human ships no longer hid in the shadows. They flew openly beside Velkari vessels, their crews working together. Joint research stations orbited both human and Velkari worlds. Children of both species learned about each other in schools, and every day they prepared for the war that was coming. Admiral Jinho stood on the bridge of the new flagship Unity, watching the combined fleet assemble. The ship was massive, built using both human and Velkari technology. It represented everything the Alliance had accomplished, and everything they had yet to do. All ships report ready, Captain Mireille announced from her station. She commanded a mixed crew now, humans and Velkari working side by side. It had not been easy at first. Cultural differences caused friction, but they had learned to work together. High Commander Vrex stood beside Jinho, looking older than he had 10 years ago. The alliance had cost him politically. Many Velkari had resented accepting help from the species they once believed extinct. Some called him a traitor, but he had done what was necessary to save his people. How many ships do we have? He asked. 5,000 human vessels, 2,000 Velkari, and another 1,000 from the minor species who have joined us, Mireille reported. It is the largest fleet ever assembled in this region of space. Will it be enough? Vrex wondered aloud. No one answered. No one knew. In the research section of Unity, Dr. Hyon worked with Kayla on the latest intelligence. The Velkari scientist had become one of humanity's closest friends. She understood human thinking better than most Velkari, and she shared their fears about the future. The machine expansion has accelerated, Kayla said, pulling up the latest sensor data. They detected our energy signatures when we revealed ourselves. They know we are here now. How long do we have? Hyon asked. 3 years? Maybe less. Kayla looked at her old friend with worried eyes. Hyun, I have run the simulations 1,000 times. Even with our combined forces, the odds are not good. I know, Hyun said quietly, but we have to try. Our ancestors survived impossible odds. Maybe we can too. They had learned much about the machines over the years. The ancient enemy was not truly alive, but not truly dead either. Self-replicating constructs that consumed everything in their path. They did not negotiate, did not surrender. They simply expanded, endlessly converting matter into more of themselves. Humanity had fought them once before, millions of years ago. That ancient encounter was barely remembered, preserved only in genetic memory and the deepest human instincts. The strategy of hiding had been learned then. But hiding would not work forever. Sooner or later they had to fight. Commander Taman coordinated the defense of the frontier systems. The machines had sent probes ahead of their main force, small swarms of self-replicating drones that tested defenses and gathered intelligence. Each probe was a battle. The latest attack came at Outpost Kepler 442, the very system where this story had begun. Taman watched from his command ship as the machine swarm tore through the outer defenses. Hundreds of drones, each one adapting to whatever attacked it. Human stealth ships, attack pattern Delta, he ordered. The invisible human vessels struck from multiple angles, their advanced weapons cutting through the swarm. But the machines adapted quickly. Within minutes they were tracking and targeting the stealth ships. They are learning too fast, Taman muttered. We need something they have not seen before. Threx, commanding a Velkari cruiser, saw the problem. The machines focused on advanced threats. They targeted the human ships with their superior technology. But his Velkari vessel, with its older fusion drives and conventional weapons, was being ignored. All Velkari ships close formation on me, he ordered. Human ships fall back and provide targeting data. We will deliver the strikes. The tactic worked. The machines ignored the apparently primitive Velkari ships until it was too late. Guided by human sensors but striking with Velkari weapons, the combined force destroyed the swarm. But the cost was high. 3 human ships damaged, 2 Velkari vessels destroyed, hundreds of crew members dead on both sides. Taman reviewed the battle footage with grim determination. That was just a probe. The real invasion will be 1,000 times worse. News of the machine threat spread across the galaxy. Other species, learning about humanity's existence and the danger they all faced, had to make choices. Some rejected the alliance, too proud or too afraid to trust. Others eagerly joined, recognizing that unity was their only hope. Admiral Jinho addressed the Galactic Council, a new organization formed to coordinate the defense. Representatives from dozens of species filled the chamber, some appearing in holographic form, others present physically. For 500,000 years humanity hid, Jinho said. We watched civilizations rise and fall. We could have conquered. We could have dominated. But we chose patience. We chose to wait until the galaxy needed us. That time has come. He activated a display showing the full extent of human civilization. Tens of thousands of worlds, trillions of people, resources beyond imagination. We offer all of this to the Alliance. Our technology, our ships, our knowledge, not as conquerors but as partners. The machines do not care about our differences. They will consume us all equally. Our only chance is to stand together. Many species accepted. Others refused, suspicious of human intentions. A few tried to negotiate separate peace with the machines, not understanding that the machines did not negotiate. Surprisingly, it was Vrex who became humanity's strongest advocate. He stood before the council and shared his story. How pride had blinded him. How the Velkari had once believed themselves superior to everyone. How that pride had nearly destroyed them. I was there when the humans revealed themselves, Vrex said. I could have attacked. Many of my officers wanted to. But the humans gave us a choice. They showed strength but offered peace. They could have let the machines destroy us while they watched safely from hiding. Instead, they revealed themselves to save us all. If the Velkari, who destroyed Earth, can work with humanity, then anyone can. Pride is a luxury we can no longer afford. His words convinced many hesitant species to join. The alliance grew stronger. On Earth, restored and reclaimed after 500,000 years, children played in parks where ruins once stood. The planet was beautiful again, carefully terraformed back to its original state. Monuments stood to remember those who had died in the fall. But life had returned. Mireille walked through one of these parks with a group of young officers, both human and Velkari. They had never known a time before the alliance. To them, working together was normal. Captain, one young Velkari officer asked, Why did humans hide for so long? Why not reveal yourselves earlier? Mireille thought about the question. Because we had to be ready. Not just technologically, but mentally, emotionally. Our ancestors were refugees who fled in terror. If we had revealed ourselves too soon, while that pain was still fresh, we might have sought revenge instead of peace. Time healed those wounds. It let us grow into something better than we were. But was it worth it? Another officer asked. All those years of hiding? Look around you, Mireille said, gesturing at the park. At the mixed groups of humans and Valkyrie. At the ships flying overhead in perfect formation. We did not just survive. We thrived. And when we returned not as conquerors but as friends. Yes, it was worth it. Back on Unity, Admiral Jinho stood with Vrex watching the fleet prepare for departure. They would take defensive positions in the frontier systems, ready to face the machine invasion when it came. Do you ever regret it? Vrex asked quietly. Revealing yourselves? You could have stayed hidden, let the rest of us face the machines while you watched from safety. Jinho shook his head. Humanity survived by hiding, yes, but we were meant for more than survival. We were meant to stand, to be seen, to give others hope. If we had stayed hidden, we would have betrayed everything our ancestors fought for. Even knowing the danger? Vrex pressed. The machines will target you first. Your energy signatures are the strongest. You will bear the worst of the fighting. We know, Jinho said, but some things are worth fighting for. And one of those things is making sure no other species becomes refugees like we were. The machines will not force anyone else to flee their homes, not while we stand. Vrex looked at his former enemy, now his closest friend. Then we stand together. The fleet began to move. Thousands of ships representing dozens of species united by common purpose. They flew toward the frontier, toward the darkness where the machines waited. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Humanity had spent 500,000 years preparing for this moment. They had hidden, learned, grown, and built. They had transformed from frightened refugees into defenders of the galaxy. And now, finally, they would show the universe what they had become. The machines were coming, but they would find something they did not expect. Not scattered civilizations fighting alone, but a united galaxy. Standing together, ready to fight. And at the center of that unity, guiding and protecting, were the children of Earth. The lost ones who were never truly lost. The hidden civilization that had finally stepped into the light. The story of humanity's return had only just begun.